Everything runs through.
TechNTortillas.
Everything runs through.
TechNTortillas.
Holy smokes, Dylan. We're finally back. It's been a while. That loss has us discombobulated, out of place, out of sorts. But we're finally back. A little late, better late than never, though. How are you doing?
Yeah, I contemplated, just giving up on football altogether and never watching again. But then I realized my whole identity, personality, everything I live and breathe is surrounded. It surrounds football. It's all about football. So, yeah, I decided to come back.
Yeah, that's fair. We're just football guys through and through, and I think I appreciate you coming back because we like to watch a lot of football together. Nick's still kind of missing, so we're hoping we get him back. He's really taken the loss pretty hard, so we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and get into what happened last week. So a little bit of a rougher week for everybody. Since Nick is not with us currently, I'll go through his first. Nick. Really bad week. 3-8. He's 31-38 on the season. You can just see that he didn't have much going for him last week. I went 6-5, so I think that's 4 or 5 winning weeks in a row with a record of 44-29 on the year. Some would say that is pretty sharp. And so you bet with me, you win money, and it's pretty much a guarantee at this point. And Dylan, 500 on the week. So, you tipped the dealer and you got out of Dodge. How do you feel about last week?
I mean, Texas Tech kind of really hurt my feelings there. Texas just they stayed behind the ball the whole time, couldn't block really, gave short field to Georgia. So when you do that against a really good team like Georgia, you're not going to be able to compete, but a lot they can build upon. Kind of a weird panic move, benching Quinn for a little bit and then putting him back in. But yeah, other than that, I'll take 7-7 on a week like that.
Yeah, and our Notre celebrity guest picker, Luke Jordan, 5-5. So again, tipped the dealer. Overall, we're 160-142, I believe is what it said. We'll double check that real quick. Actually, dyslexia there, 162-140. So 22 games above 500. Not too shabby. We did take a little bit of a bath last week as a unit, but hopefully we can bounce back this week and give you all some winners. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the games. We have a wonderful not a celebrity guest picker for you all today. And Dylan's not really going to enjoy it because the person that we have went to a certain school that he doesn't like. But we'll get there when we get there, okay? So with that being said, let's get into the first game.
Troy, to be fair, I was going to ask you why he was on today. I don't even associate him with that school. He's transcended that school. There's exceptions to every rule, and I think he's one good thing that's come out of that school. So I'll say that at least.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He's a good man, good, honest man. And he doesn't really, I don't really think of that school when I think of him. It was funny, though. I did talk to somebody from A&M school talking about our good pal Carter. And he's like the defender of A&M. I love his passion. But, man, you can't pick against them. He takes it personal. And it's like a vendetta against you. And so I asked if he's
going to hate me this week, Troy.
Yeah, no, dude. You're like his arch nemesis. He's like, I think if I were to get on, I'd probably jump through the monitor and strangle Dylan. And so you gotta love that with him. We're passionate about our teams too. I think we're just more realistic with some of the stench that we've had recently. But here you've already seen the first game on the ticker. So we got number 5 Texas versus number 25 Vanderbilt. Vandy is plus 17.5 at home with an over and under 51. Dill, what are your thoughts here?
So kind of to build off of what I said earlier, yes, Texas lost 30-15 against Georgia, but it was a lot of them giving up short field more than Georgia. Georgia did have a really good long drive, but it was them giving up a lot of short field. So maybe they put themselves in worse situations than they actually should have been in. The offensive line did look bad, but I don't think things like that are going to be an issue against Vanderbilt. you're playing against Georgia. They're going to really exploit you there. So I think this is a good chance for Texas to bounce back. I do expect them to put up a lot of points. I expect them to put up a lot of points. Vanderbilt, they've been a surprise this year. They're definitely levels and levels ahead of what they usually are. Again, that being said, I think this is just a bad time to play Texas. I'll take Texas minus 17.5, and I will take the over 51. I think Texas puts up a big number here.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think that with the Texas-Georgia game last week, it was a narrative game, and everybody wants to say that Texas isn't SEC ready, and they don't watch ball if they say that. Clearly this is a really good team, and you brought up an excellent point where most of their scores were on their side of the 50 and getting great field position and or on the opponent's side of the 50, in short field situations and being able to score. So credit to Georgia for being able to do that. I don't think it was indicative of who Texas is. And if they played again, I'd probably take Texas in the spread or whatever it was. But with that being said, last year I said Georgia mad. And this year, I think it's Texas mad. Texas big mad. Texas has a lot to prove here. And perfect timing, Nick. Texas mad. Texas big mad. Texas cover 17.5. Texas cover over team total 17.5 in the first half. And I'm also taking the over 51 in as well, Dylan. So copying your picks with a little sprinkle of the first half over for Texas. I just think they're going to be too much the first half.
Add that on for me, Troy. I like that too.
All right, you got it, Chief. Nick, you're back. Thoughts?
Over 51.5 feels about right.
Awesome. Do you want me to tell you what your record was last week, or do you just want to put it behind you?
Did I say 51.5? I meant 51. No.
Okay. Well, we won't get into it. Would you like to transition to being the host?
Yeah, let me take over.
Okay.
Moving on to our next game. Number 21, Missouri at number 15, Alabama. Alabama's favored by 16. Over under 51 again. I like 51 because I think Alabama's going to run over Missouri. I also like Alabama minus 16. Dylan, thoughts?
Yeah, I think this Missouri team's a little fraudulent. What Bama, I think, was by last week, and the week before that was that game they struggled against South Carolina, squeaked out a win. I'll take Bama big here. Bama minus 16, and I'll also take the over 51 because I do think Bama puts up a big number here.
Troy?
Honestly, it's kind of frustrating seeing these games and then these spreads too. With the SEC bias, all four of these teams have been ranked, and you have just enormous double-digit spreads. Like, What is that about? And so I think that this game will be a little bit closer. Missouri shouldn't be in the top 25 anymore, and Vandy shouldn't be in it either. But it is what it is. I do think it stays close just because I haven't seen much from Bama this year. I'm not going to take that, though. I'll take the over in this one. I think both teams will be able to score. So over 51.
You don't believe in Vanderbilt?
No, I think, they've had obviously good wins. I think Texas, I don't think they should be ranked. I'll say that.
Yeah, you said that.
I said it.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, I'm adding the Bama first half minus 8.5. I think they just come out and destroy this team.
Okay, then.
Check.
Is this Illinois team my favorite team?
They could be.
They beat Nebraska, right?
No.
Who just beat Nebraska?
Indiana.
They're my favorite team.
Yeah, they're your favorite team.
They score a lot of points.
Yes.
I like that.
Illinois just beat Michigan 21-7. A good defensive team, though.
Thank you. Number 20, Illinois at number 1, Oregon, minus 21.5, over under 54.5. Troy, what do you think?
I think this one, it's a week of overs, quite frankly. 54.5. I think Illinois can score points. We saw a really good defensive performance from Oregon last week, but that was probably against one of the worst teams in college football. But other than that, they've been able to hold teams to mostly under 20. And so I think Altmaier will be able to score a few. I think both teams together will be able to get over 54. So I like that. And I'm also going to take with that 21.5, giving me a 0.5. I'm going to take Illinois to cover that as well.
Dylan?
Illinois is not as good as everyone thinks they are. They're going to have to regress back to mean at some point. I'll take Oregon minus 21.5, and I will take the over as well. I think Oregon's a very good team, and they're going to flex in this one.
Give me over 54.5 points, baby. 21.5 is a lot, but Oregon looks pretty good. I don't know too much about Illinois, so give me the over.
Hey, they were your favorite team before you realized they weren't Indiana.
Yeah, no, Indiana is my favorite team. And for the record, I had a change of heart on Friday last week. And instead of taking the under, I took the over in that game. And so I'm glad I did because Indiana can score points. Oh, and Dylan Raiola is a fraud.
Yeah, that's
Big fraud.
Looks to be true, honestly.
Talk about manipulating like your own look and everything to where you keep saying I'm Patrick Mahomes so much that some people start believing it. That kid sucks. Sorry.
Yeah. I agree. Maybe.
Thanks.
We'll see. The freshman.
No. Garbage. They didn't score.
No, I know, Nick. It was bad. And the only person that had that game right was Luke Jordan. So
No, well, to be fair,
on the graphic, you had it wrong. In real life, you had it right.
yeah, I had it very right. I had it in the parlay that hit.
Yeah. Good for you.
My over parlay, but it wasn't thanks to Dylan Raiola.
No. Yeah, well, 7 points or whatever. 7
Jesus,
points in a cloud of dust.
that kid's a goober. All right, let's keep moving. This is a massive game. Can I tell you?
Yes.
Massive. Number 12 Notre Dame at number 24 Navy. Notre Dame is favored by 14, over under 50.5. I'm taking Navy plus 14, boys. In fact, feeling a little frisky. I'm not going to take them to win, but they're going to win. And the bands keep on playing. Troy, what do you think?
Wait, Dill, you go first. I want to hear what you have to say about this.
Oh, you want to take his picks?
Yes.
All right.
You're such a square, man.
Notre Dame last year. That was last year where they kind of embarrassed Navy, right? In Ireland? Was that last year I think they played?
First
Navy
game,
Navy wants some revenge, guys. This Navy team, very good. I know this is some would say this was their first real opponent, but I've been telling you all along that Army-Navy game at the end of the year, guys, that could be for a college football playoff spot at this point. I'm going to take Navy plus 14. I agree with Nick. Navy is going to win. I've already put some on the money line on that. I won't put it on this graphic because I need to catch up to Troy just in case they lose. But Navy plus 14, definitely the pick here. They're going to cover that number and win the game.
Okay. I wanted to see what the history
moving
was.
Moving on. Troy doesn't get to pick.
Here's the deal. I was pulling up the history on this game. Navy has not won in this century. I don't think they will. But, every once in a while they keep it close.
You don't think they'll win this century?
They haven't won this century yet.
You want to know a fun fact? No team has ever won against another team in a century until they do, and that time is now.
Gotcha.
Troy, you said they weren't going to beat them this century. There's still 76 more years to go.
I said they haven't beat them
Hey,
yet.
follow-up question. Do you hate America?
Follow up to that follow-up. When did you start hating America?
Yeah, good questions. These are all good questions. I don't hate America. I feel like I got too it's too late for the under on this one. I'm just going to take Navy to cover 14. They'll keep it
You
close.
just talked all that trash about them, and then you picked them.
Yeah, I can't hate America.
This is why no one wants to pick with you. This is why Chuck calls Dylan and I separately to talk about you.
He does a lot.
This is classic Nick. Classic Nick.
Go on.
No,
Oh God, we're airing it out on camera, boys.
What do you mean by that, Troy?
just walks off. You know what?
Yeah.
All right, just bring Colby on. Him and I will
No,
finish the show.
no, Dylan, don't let him fool you. He already told me the trick that he does. He's still there. He just goes a little bit further in the background so you can't see him.
Oh
You hear
God.
the table?
Whatever, Troy. Number 11, Vintage Troy. Number 11, BYU at UCF. UCF's BYU's favorite -2.5. They got to be, right?
Nope.
What? What do they know?
Just the bounce
What are you
out.
giggling about? Is that a rat line?
You sniff a rat?
Okay, UCF is favored -2.5. Over under 53.5. Dylan, explain this one to me.
What do they know, Nicholas? That's a great question. Because something's fishy, like you said, something stinks, smells like a rat. You got to take UCF at home here. This BYU team's had a lot of turnover luck. They've just every win hasn't been like the most impressive. They're gonna fall at some point. I alluded to this on our tortilla talk. UCF will win this game. I'll take a -2.5. And again, I'm trying to catch up to Troy, so I'll take over 53.5.
Dude, that's what I'm taking.
That's fine. Then it gives me insurance against you.
Troy.
I'm taking UCF -2.5 as well. In the over 53.5. I told you I was taking that. That's why I laughed. I do think so. What I think is interesting about this, so I guess
Troy, you're such a sleaze.
I guess Vegas really enjoys quality losses, so that 38-35 loss at UCF really shifted this line in their favor, I guess. That being said, I think they'll be able to score points at home. UCF scores points. That's what they do. And BYU just literally follow suit on whatever they need to do. So if UCF's going to be scoring points, so will BYU. So I think that this game will go over. I'd probably even take it over like 60.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's got to hit. I don't know why I wouldn't. That being said, it could not hit. You know, there's
Yeah,
Oh my God. Okay.
I feel like I want to change the pick now.
Oh man. Give me BYU -2.5.
take the money line too.
Yeah, might as well give me the money line.
Man, just sprinkle it.
No.
Full lunch. Full unit,
I'm all
baby.
in. I'm deep. We'll see. UCF sucks.
Nick, they just had a quality loss. Don't you know Vegas cares about that?
Apparently.
This is like Josh Payton. He's like all my sources, and they would say that BYU wouldn't be favored against the worst SEC team, and now they're not favored against some of the bottom Big 12 teams.
I just
He's right, I guess. He's
obviously I want BYU to lose.
Yeah, that's what
All
we
right.
want.
Keep moving. Is this the last pick before the real game?
Yeah, yep, that's it.
Number 8 LSU at number 14 Texas A&M. A&M is favored by 1 over under 55. Please keep in mind that Texas A&M did just suffer a loss to the University of Connecticut, 14-3.
Sounds like in some NCAA 25 dynasty stuff, doesn't it?
Could be because this was a conference game in the SEC. Dylan, what do you think?
Quick question, Troy. Who's on top of the SEC right now?
A&M.
And who else?
Wrong. Eastern Michigan.
I'll give you a hint, Troy. They're playing in this game. Neither of these teams has lost a conference game yet. They looked so terrible at the beginning of the year. What was it? They both lost their opening games and kind of got written off a little bit. And now all of a sudden they're both sitting there with no losses in conference. If you want to take a flyer on anyone for Heisman, Nussmeier, if he wins this game first in the SEC, I mean, that he'll fly right to the top of the leaderboards. That being said, give me LSU +1, LSU money line, and the over 55. We all know A&M sucks, guys. We're never going to take them. I mean, this was easy. We didn't even have to talk about this.
Yeah. Give me LSU. Give me LSU money line. Give me LSU +1.
Yeah, give me LSU money line, LSU +1, and the under 55. Here's what I think is going to happen. I told this a couple weeks ago. Carter and I got into it for about 2 hours. It was Saturday, Nick, so you know how that goes. And I think Carter's the A&M version of me when it comes to Saturday.
So you guys were both just drunk.
Yeah,
he had a bad case of the Saturdays.
Bad case of the Saturdays. And
May I ask what time you guys spoke?
I don't think it mattered.
It was about 11 p.m. So,
oh, yikes.
The Saturday.
So now you're drunk and tired.
Yeah, drunk and we needed naps, quite frankly.
Yeah, you probably needed a nap.
But what I did say is I wasn't sure how A&M was going to be this year. It didn't look great. But what I did say was they had an extremely easy schedule. So the SEC teams that they have beat, get ready for this, put your seatbelt on. Florida, Arkansas, Mizzou, Mississippi State. Not anything too impressive there. Sure,
Florida and Arkansas are getting better. Mississippi State's looking a little better.
Yeah, but still. I think that LSU will be the best defensive team they've played all year. And so I do think it'll be a lower scoring game. And I think that LSU will be able to take care of business. Again, A&M's fortunate that's at Kyle Field. It's an excellent schedule for them. So they just need to keep up, the work that they're doing. But I think their streak ends here.
And again, they did just lose 14-3 tonight. So the boys might be a little tired.
That's true. That is true.
So, all right, moving right along, we've got our not a celebrity guest picker of the week. This is a special kid to us out from East Texas. Colby. Oh man, look at that! It's an East Texas facial hair if I've ever seen it. Colby, hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm absolutely seething after you guys review the A&M game. I'm filled with rage. I'm not sure if you guys could see me, but the entire time I was just fuming. But other
That's
than
right.
that,
You're
it's
an
good to
Aggie.
be here. I'm a huge fan of you guys. I have been for so long. Not just the podcast, but the Dementia Brothers. You're great people.
Thank you.
I'm going to try to see my way through the other games before I freak. Before I freak out on LSU.
Freak the freak out.
Yeah. We freak the freak out.
Freak the deaky.
Sorry.
Colby,
what do we got?
So you're a fan of the show. We appreciate that. You're a fan of the family. We really appreciate that as well. So then you know how this goes. We're going to ask you a few questions. We always start with the same one. So how does it feel to not be a celebrity?
It kind of feels great. I'm kind of in my zone, being a celebrity would be really stressful for me. So kind of cool with a not celebrity guest. Feels nice. Feels comfortable.
Okay. So Colby, first question right off the top here. You ever been to Vegas?
Man, I've been to Vegas one time, and it was, I gotta say, it was pretty wild. I think you were my chaperone, I believe, if I remember correctly.
How was it?
It was great. I got to see you at your highest highs and your lowest lows, which was huge. And I had some highs and some lows myself, so it was a great time.
Yeah. Let me ask you, any unplanned trips while you were in Vegas?
What's up?
Any unplanned trips while you were in Vegas?
Oh yeah, we had one. We had one detour. I was afraid you were going to ask about this, and I'm not sure how far you want me to go into it, but
just a detour.
I'm just wondering how you're doing.
Just a detour.
Just wondering how you're doing.
Great.
Just a detour.
We didn't go there with this idea, but we did find ourselves being kidnapped by a cab driver and taken to a rather salacious location. But it's fine. It happens. That's Vegas.
That's Vegas. We were worried about you, but we found you, and that's all that matters. Dylan, what questions do you have for our guest?
Colby, hey, Dylan here. I got a two-parter for you. First question, we kind of alluded to it. I know you're in the background listening. How does it feel? I mean, Nick came right in and didn't know you were from A&M. I said I didn't associate you with A&M. Troy doesn't. So one, did you take that as a compliment that we don't associate you as an Aggie? And then second part, why are my best Saturdays spent watching football with you?
That's absolutely two great questions. The first one, I don't take that as a negative because honestly, A&M guys, they can be pretty weird. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen a Midnight Yeller too. Things get a little wacky, questionable people. So I'm not offended by it. I am an Aggie. I do have pride, but I know my limits. So, and as far as football with you, man, there's nowhere else I'd rather spend a Saturday than with the three of you or two of you or even one of you, Troy. Since Dylan did not show up last week.
Follow-up question, Colby. How much of your money goes to terrorist organizations?
You know, I'm no longer a booster. I learned the truth, and Troy brought that to my mind, and it's been a while. So
okay, good.
Probably a lot of
good.
it.
I think the more Aggies that learn that, the better. Troy, what questions do you have for our friend?
Hey, Colby, Troy Dementure, TechNTortillas. Thanks for joining us today. I need you to spill the beans. Tell me everything you know about Old Rock. Who is he? Does he lead this organization?
Man, you know what's crazy? I actually had an Old Rock story planned, but I'm not there yet. We'll get back to it.
I don't know if that's good enough.
I don't know what that even means.
You'll get it. It'll just be a minute.
Okay. It's that thing they talk about when they're doing their little hooping and hollering.
Have you ever put on a pair of those white pants?
Have they ever thrown you in the lake after a football game?
I really fill those out.
How many times have you kicked your leg up like this?
More than I'm proud of.
Moving on. Let's get to the games. Let's get to the games. Enough of this.
We'll get to Old Rock.
Colby, right off the bat, your favorite, number 5, Texas at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is plus 17.5, over under 51. What do you got?
You know, that's a big spread for me personally. But I am still gonna take Texas, even though I hate them and it's a huge spread.
Isn't that what you guys do?
But
don't you hiss?
We do hiss. We don't boo.
What?
That'll sound terrible on audio.
Yeah. No, we don't boo, we hiss. That's correct.
You know who else hisses? My cat.
Colby, can you give your pick one more time?
Hey!
Oh, God. Look, I'm not doing a wildcat for you guys. It's just not happening. Oh, I'm taking Texas. I don't want to take that big of a spread, but I'm taking Texas.
Moving on. Gig 'em, Aggies. Plus 21, number 21, Missouri at 15, Alabama, minus 16, over under 51.
Oh boy. Again, we got a big spread here. Alabama's been having a lot of trouble on defense. Alabama's been giving up like 400 a game for a while now. Had a lot of turnovers last week. That said, I'm taking Missouri to cover because that spread's a little wacky for me.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of big spreads in the SEC. Thoughts?
Yeah, I brought it up.
Colby, thoughts?
I mean,
some spread.
We'll get there.
Some spread. Colby has no thoughts on the subject.
I mean,
Colby.
I said we'll get there. I promise.
When do we get, Colby? We've got like 4 more minutes. I don't know how much longer you want to get there.
Look, we get to the A&M game. I'm going to go off. All right, it's going to be fun.
Oh, go off, as the kids say. Go off, King. Number 20, Illinois at number 1, Oregon, minus 21.5, over under 54.5. Colby, what do you got?
I'm going to go unconventional. I'm going to take Oregon first half, 11.5. They start really fast, pretty much every single week. and Illinois starts slow. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. You know, it's funny you say that, Colby. I've been really burned over the last couple of weeks with taking like overs that are full game, and then the team just kicks the crap out of the other team, and then they just stop.
See, that's what I'm
So I
afraid
like
of.
that.
I'm adding it to my card. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I like
Oh.
that, Colby. I do like that because it just at least if you take a first half, you know that they're never gonna stop. You
It's
know,
true.
sometimes you get into that whole game where they stop. So next game. Oh yeah. Number 12 Notre Dame and number 24 Navy. Navy plus 14 over under 50.5.
All right, I'm gonna lean on the wacky Navy offense. They've got like a plus 12 turnover margin or something stupid this year.
Oh.
I don't think they're gonna win outright. I really don't, but I'm gonna take them to cover.
If they win outright, then Army better beat Notre Dame as well.
That would be crazy. Let's set up a big game.
You know. Next game, Troy. Number 11 BYU at UCF. UCF Colby is favored minus 2.5. Over under 53.5. What do they know, Colby? What do they know?
I don't know. I thought the favoritism was wild there. I mean, we saw the Iowa State game last week. They should have won that game. To be honest, they kind of gave it away, and Troy saw me crying about it a little bit. But I'm taking
Red
the
Hot
over.
Chili
I don't know
Peppers
who's
give it
gonna win.
away.
I don't know who's gonna win.
Give it away
Taking the
now.
over.
What are you thinking?
The over. Just the over.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give
Are
it
you guys
away
just
now.
gonna do this?
Sorry, what?
Is that
Yeah,
what this
what-
podcast is? Is the podcast
It's
just you guys singing Red Hot Chili Peppers?
It was.
How long?
I'm taking over 53 and
Separate
55,
my
53 and a half, whatever it is.
side. I don't believe in space. Slit my throat so I ever.
Dylan, take us away.
With a name like Danny California.
Oh man.
And he doesn't
Colby.
get to pick the Aggie game now.
Yeah. We're moving on. That was Aggies.
All
All
right.
right, Colby, go off, King. Number 8 LSU at number 14 A&M. A&M -1 over under 55.
All right. So can you guys hear me well? Are you having trouble hearing me?
No, we can hear you, Colby.
We
Please
having
try not to
problems?
curse. And he's gone, and Colby's gone.
Is that a rule?
We removed you from the stage and added you back. Go ahead, King.
It's pretty funny.
Oh my.
Damn dementiors.
All right. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. This might be the only reason why I came on this podcast, just because this gives
Have
me a
you been
platform.
lying? Have
I
you been
love
lying
guys.
before?
Yeah. I don't know anything about any of the other games. I made all that up. The stats,
Okay.
the turnover margins. It could be totally fake.
Okay.
But I do know Aggie football. Biggest SEC game of the year so far, unquestionable, right? The winner takes a sole lead, both on 6-game win streaks. I heard you guys saying a lot of rude stuff about LSU winning, which is just crazy to me. A&M is coming in, some problems at quarterback. Connor Weigman, not great. Seems like he makes a play when he has to. Sometimes he doesn't. All right. Defense having some trouble in the secondary. Pass rush is great though. Beautiful eyes, Nick. I gotta be honest with you guys. This is a classic A&M letdown spot. I've lived this game 10, 20 times in my life where they look like everything's great and then it's just a disaster scenario. So my mind is scared, but my body says A&M is going to come away with the win. So I was going to tell an old rock story, but it's a little not safe for work. So I might need to stray away from that in favor of the children fans of the podcast. That said, A&M by 50.
Sheesh, that's crap. This isn't Missouri.
And if it
Dylan,
was,
you
it would
blocking
be
out the
A&M by
haters?
75. A&M by 50, though.
Thank you, Colby.
We let you say your piece. Are you happy?
Riveting
Kinda
stuff.
happy. I still wanted to tell the story, but maybe next time.
You like
All of-
how the story's not safe for work, but he makes an R. Kelly reference?
I was like, geez.
Yikes, man. All of us were riveted by your A&M tales. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Highly engaged. Now to the game that really matters. The Texas Tech University at TCU. TCU is favored by 6.5. Colby, give him a little hiss.
Sorry.
Over under 66.5. Colby, what do you think?
All right, guys. There's no way I'm going to come on TechNTortillas and pick TCU. So
Good for you.
I don't need a lot of logic, but I'm excited to see the second best running back in the nation with his unique running style, very patient, running against a defense that's given up like 170 yards a game. So I think you guys are going to take this. I don't know about the spread, but I'm going to take it. We're going Texas Tech on the -6.5 there.
I like I like him taking us -6.5.
He's taking the alternate line.
Sorry. Plus
Nick.
6.5.
Thank you. I got a couple
Actually,
picks.
you know what? I'm taking you guys outright.
Hey,
Hey, Cole, you can take both if you're going to take us outright.
Taking you outright.
love it. Troy, what do you think?
Yeah, it's real simple. If we lose this game, I will hit the panic button. As we said in Tortilla Talk, the panic button is sitting on my desk, and I'm sitting at my desk. I'm not going to slam it yet, but this game means a lot. Dylan touched on it. I thought he said, well, we're going to learn a lot about Joey this week. And what he's shown us over the last 2 years is that he is a man that punches back, fights back, and this is a team that fights back and claws back, and this is a game where we need to fight, punch, claw, and win. So I'm taking us plus 6.5 money line, and I can't get Taj Brooks' player prop for rushing yards. I'm assuming it's somewhere around 100 because TCU can't stop the run. But
You
as
can't
soon
just
as
make your own numbers.
No, as soon as I get it, no matter what it is, Dylan, I'm
It's
taking
going to
it.
be like 100.
Yeah, I'll probably
Thank
like
you,
115.
bookmaker Troy.
So I'll go ahead and take Taj Brook over rushing yards, and I'll put the first number I see.
Dylan.
Well, Troy, you just gotta look beforehand, get the numbers that you want, because did some research. I got a lot of picks for you here. All right, so Taj Brooks, Troy, you're right. He's gonna run all over this team. Tech is going to be successful on offense. And also, if we lose, I'll be in a very dark place, and I don't want to foresee that happening. So we're going to go ahead and take Tech plus 6.5. We're going to take Texas Tech on the money line. We're going to take Texas Tech team total over 31.5. We are going to also take Texas Tech first half plus 3.5. Tech just dominates this whole game. Taj Brooks controls it. It's easy. And then we'll be on to Iowa State.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Tech's going to win the game. We're taking Tech money line. We're taking Tech plus 6.5. All of it. Troy said something interesting. So last week was a game that Tech totally loses because that's what we do, right? That being said, something else we do under the Joey McGuire era or Joey McGuire regime is we win this game because Joey doesn't let things like this happen twice. So I feel pretty good about where we're at. I would also like to take over under 4 bad things Troy says about Joey during the game.
That's only if we lose or getting killed. So let's
No, Troy, time out. if we go down by 3, I have a feeling you're going to start saying, "What are they? You didn't get the kids ready."
Listen, the kids weren't ready last week. So
Nick makes a good point, Troy. I remember I gave you a pick, and you're like, "We're so on the wrong side." I don't know what it was last week. It was like 10-3, and then our team ended up winning by like 40.
It hit.
Yes, Dylan. I remember Dylan texted me and goes, "I'm taking this win away from Troy."
It was on Monday.
Okay.
He's right.
I had the misfortune of being with Troy for the game last week.
Oh gosh.
He was freaking out whenever it was tied. So you guys are on the right track there.
I didn't say anything about Joey. I just threw my phone when that special teams play by Dre McCray happened. And then after the third quarter, I stopped caring. Or before the third quarter ended, I stopped caring. I just sat and played with my daughter on the living room floor.
Crying.
Well, hey Troy, would you say the team stopped caring in the first quarter like you usually say?
Oh God.
So Dylan, here's my analysis on that. They stopped caring for the first and second.
They never cared.
They cared for 2 drives in the third, and that was the defensive stop, and then the Taj Brooks touchdown, and then stopped caring shortly after that.
Do you remember when Taj scored and it was like so electric for 2 seconds?
Yeah,
that
was
fun.
one of those drives that I said they cared about.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tex
Nobody,
winning. I feel good about it. All right.
Nobody else
Thank
took
you,
the
everyone.
alternate
We
spread?
appreciate you coming on. What?
I said nobody else took the alternate spread, Tech by 6.5.
Find out. Everything runs through.
TechNTortillas.
Everything runs through.
TechNTortillas.
Colby, I'm taking my Tech alternate line minus 100. But
All right.
that's all we got today. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on all the channels: YouTube, X, Instagram, TikTok, all of it. For the boys, thank you for watching. Rolling in dough. Wrecking.
Shout out Carter.
Shout out
Shout
Carter.
out Carter, aka Drunk Troy Aggie.
That's right. Troy Light. Don't forget to give us your best bets in the comments.
Find out. Everything runs through.
TechNTortillas.
Everything runs through.
TechNTortillas.